let's give a warm track 2 Move Blink welcome to Ellis, Mark, and Jackie.
Welcome. So at Movable Inc., we're continuously talking about how we can ensure that customers achieve success within the first year of adopting our technology. As marketers, you know firsthand how vital it is to quickly realize the value of your tech investments and demonstrate measurable impact, but in a very short time frame. It's essential that you're not only driving those quick wins, but that you're also developing integrated programs that set the stage for meaningful transformation, but all within that first year. I had the pleasure of meeting Mark and Ellis exactly 1 year ago today at this very same Think Summit, just as they were getting ready to implement Movable Inc. Since then, they've led what is, in my opinion, one of the most innovative and effective first-year launches on a global scale, engaging multiple marketing and local teams in the process. Today, we'll hear a bit about their journey over the past year. They'll share some best practices for first-year launch, global tech adoption, and strategies that really tip the needle on customer engagement. Mark, Ellis, maybe you can kick us off by giving us a little bit of insight into Accor as a brand.
Thanks, Jackie. And I don't know if you remember last year, we had that discussion. We said hello to each other, we introduced each other, and we just signed. And what was really pertinent at the time was we want to be on the stage next year, and look at us now.
Well done.
So it's really, really a nice moment for us to be here, and it's an honor to be here with you guys. So Accor, for those of you who don't know, you might know some of our brands, but it's anything from an Ibis, Novotel, Pullman, all the way through to Uberlux, which is a Raffles as well, or a Sofitel, or a Fairmont if you're coming from the American territories. But we've also got a couple of really nice, new, cool brands. I'm going to give them a little bit of a plug. That is Greet, which is very around the sustainability. So they use a lot of the furniture is all recyclable. So moving into that sustainability environment. We've got Handwritten, boutique, nice, intimate properties, 50 rooms only or less. And then we've got Tribe, which is a boutique, lifestyle, chic type of brand as well. So we're very, very much growing as a company. We've got around nearly 6,000 globally hotels. In my region, it's 3,000. And we've got 45 brands, including more than 10,000 restaurants and things like that, and spas that we have to support. So very big, diverse network of outlets and restaurants and hotels that we have to support through technology, through CDPs and things like Movable Inc. as well.
Amazing. Well, such a diverse portfolio across so many geographies, you have such a rich opportunity to foster customer loyalty. There's no shortage of property options that you can offer your customers. You have no shortage of content that you can feature. But with that also brings some really distinct marketing challenges. So what specific challenges were you looking to address when you started working with Movable Inc.?
Well, it's a really, really good and fair point in terms of a first year. You have all these options available, made to you, but where do you start? So we wanted to start something that is very strong with Movable Inc. It's around the live personalization, data activation. So when you think around content creation, not traditional content in terms of images or videos, the rich sort of media, but we're sitting on a mountain of data. Every brand probably has got this within scope. So how do you activate data and how do you make it connect emotionally with your customers or your members? So that was a quick win in terms of personalization. And then we all have to do more with less. So we weren't going to be able to expand the team. So we wanted automation, we wanted to be able to scale, we wanted to do a lot more. And again, as Movable Inc. being a great aggregator of data and being able to manipulate data, but also move it from an automation perspective, it was a big yes for us. And then last but not least, and it's sometimes underrated, is a pedigree of a relationship. So I've known Movable Inc. in my past life. It's been a tested partnership for us. And they are so helpful, and they are so supportive. We're very lucky to have them as the extended team. So having that enterprise grade, a gold standard, if you like, to move forward, and then being fairly ambitious and fast-paced was a critical need for us.
Well, it's our absolute pleasure to partner with you. One of the things you mentioned is contextual personalization. And when clients are first starting out using Movable Ink, our contextual native capabilities are such a quick but highly effective way to drive quick results while you're working, as you said, to really bring data online for personalization. So I'd love for you to bring to life what was your initial starting point? What did you first launch with Movable Ink? And what type of results did you see?
Yeah, so I think during our first year with Movable Ink, and it's come, for me, it's like a deja vu event, this is, because this time last year we were here, we haven't signed yet, and it's been a full year now, now that we signed. And we've launched some really interesting use cases. So literally from the out-of-the-box solutions, which was very easy to do, and all the way up to something complex. And you will see in the next couple of slides that we will go through some of the use cases that we've had. So this first use case is very interesting. It's our spring sale last call email, and the stats, they speak for themselves. We had a plus 4% uplift on the click-through rate. And what we really see here is a time optimization of image. So between the morning and the evening of this last call email, you'll see the image change according to what time the customer opens the email. And what's really interesting here is the personalization aspect is stackable with a live countdown timer. So everything here is Movable Ink controlled. So what you see here, you see Jean-Sébastien is the name in front of the Eiffel Tower, and behind it, you see Bonjour or Bonsoir in the evening, and everything is controlled here on this Movable Ink platform aspect. So very contextualized, personalized imagery. But after the sale has actually ended, we've actually also implemented a fallback. So, we've got away from the sense of when the email has, when the promotion has finished. We've got away from just seeing the like a static image after the sales ended, but we've actually driven a fallback image where we would present another product that customers can engage with, and we've had some really good results from this. From the fallback, we've had a plus 200% uplift. And what we're selling is our All Plus subscription card, which equals actually to about 16,000 euros of extra revenue just because we have this fallback option, and that's all done in Movable Ink as well.
I love that you leverage that fallback to really keep the customer in the booking funnel once the sale was over. Otherwise, this would have been such a lost opportunity and the conversation ends. So just that simple tweak can really mean a substantial improvement in sales as well as customer experience. So love that you did that. In addition to contextual personalization in the sale program, you also started out using some really fun interactive elements in your subscription and loyalty comms. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So I'm going to just jump on this one, and that is the subscription card that we have from a brand send, if you like, so one of our brand ibises. And we noted pre-doing this that we actually track sentiment, customer sentiment within our database. And in the UK, generally speaking, people are more curious around in terms of nature and what you supply to them. On the French side, they're a little bit more wanting to be thanked and acknowledged and recognized. So it was really interesting that there are different nuances and different traits within different populations within our territories. But we were really intrigued with this. We wanted to have that engagement, that proactive engagement, that someone would get an email, they'll scratch it off and they'll see the offer. And we did a A/B test against control. It had a 135% increase just by that. And it really showed that you can actually use some of the products that Movable Ink gives you to really sort of tactically align in terms of what you want. If it's click-throughs, if it's engagement, if it's awareness, consideration, all these things, you actually have a suite of products that you can create a mix for. And this was a really interesting one. Fairly easy to do as well, I would say.
Love that you were able to, read what sentiments are resonating in which markets and launch something that really aligns with that. So these are some great results from those initial use cases. How has the program evolved since then? What strategies are you working on now?
Yeah, so I'll take this one. So a lot of our business is hotels, of course, but we do have hotel, restaurants and spas, so the spas and well-being side of the business. So we do generate a lot of revenue through this side of the business. So how do we actually support this? So first, I just want to give a big shout out to Valentin, who's in my team, and he leads this restaurants and spa sort of email here, and he's done a fantastic job in featuring lots of different kind of products that we push through Movable Ink using like CSV, the generator, and doing a lot of geo-personalization around the restaurant recommendations. So here what you see is, depending on where you are in France, you will see a different image on the hero image itself. And this will then push a lot of like kind of different restaurants or spas, depending on where you are, and just really selling to the point where you are close to one of our hotels that has a spa or restaurant. So pop in and just have a meal with us, or book a massage or something. So we've come really from crawling to walking, really, and just using more and more data to really push a lot of these dynamic personalization elements. So the image changes, and also the links also change as well. And it's very segmented, where we also can do a lot of web scraping through our spa websites to really push the envelope on all the different products that we have.
What would the process have looked like trying to create something like this before using Movable Ink?
Well, we should really ask Valentin, but I think it's hopefully super efficient now, and but not only it's a one-off investment, but more an efficient way of doing things. But next time you do it, it's going to be even better for you. So it's a scalable practice.
Amazing. So I thought Accor had such a unique approach to its Olympic partnership, and it was such a standout moment for the brand. I recall that Accor called it the Olympification of the customer experience, and your loyalty members could use rewards points for tickets, for backstage access. You had all these cool experiences like meals inspired by athletes' favorite recipes and so much more. So tell us about that partnership, and how did you use email to really promote that?
Yeah, this partnership was really special to us. Accor, one of the premium sponsors for the Paris 2024 Olympics. So, we wanted really to tell our customers how proud we were, and also the amount of breadth and depth of the properties that we have around France and Paris. So here, what you see is, again, we have personalized recommendations on restaurants. We've also included animated video as well, using Movable Ink, and also some of the live polling aspects. But what we see here is, if you are near a Paris Olympic event, then depending on where you're located as a geolocation tagging, then we will push you different content. And that's all partnered with our SEO team. If you're near Marseille, then we push you some kind of really good, rich contextual content based on Marseille. So you can enjoy your stay in Marseille as well as watching the Olympics. So we can use a really good range of different platforms and tactics to really encourage and engage our customers through the Summer Olympics, really.
Love that. You're really taking the French market along on the Olympic journey through all this personalization. Up-leveling the loyalty email program was also a huge focus for you all in the past year. So tell us a bit about that transformation and what that looked like.
Yeah, so I think this is my personal proudest campaign that I've worked on. So the whole aspect is tier nudging. So our all program, we have 5 main tiers, from classic to like platinum, diamond, gold, silver, all these different tiers. So we really wanted to use the Movable Ink platform to really remind customers and educate customers and really get them involved in the loyalty program. And just to really tell them, what their next loyalty status is. So we've done this with a combination of different layers with Movable Ink. So you can see at the top, there's a countdown timer as standard out-of-the-box practice. And then we get to a bit deeper into the email, where you have the tier nudging straight in the middle of the email itself. And then we have another kind of another promotion near the end. But what's fascinating about this is, once this campaign has finished, the Save 15% off France, that promotion actually gets swapped out, and we use Movable Ink to bump up the offer at the end of the email all the way to the top. So in that instance, you're still engaged with the email itself even after the campaign is finished, and we can reuse a lot of these elements into different campaigns where you can just push and pull. And of course, with the help of Antonia and Michael, who's I think somewhere in the room, we've brought them along with this journey with us and how to implement all of this, and to their just thanking them on just helping us to get this live. But as you can see, there's lots of different moving elements. If you're a classic member but you have 3 nights away, then we encourage you and say to you, using data, to say you're 3 nights away from the next tier level. And we've done a lot of tests around this, and from moving from a classic member all the way to a silver member, we have seen a 500% uplift. Wow. Just putting this block in there, where you can also feature this into all our other different emails as well.
Well, I love that you are planning on scaling this across additional touch points and that you're able to do so easily. Speaking of scalability, what's the secret sauce for change management at a global, expansive brand like Accor?
I'm actually pleased you managed to animate the little statue.
I wouldn't have missed it.
But thank you for doing that. So it starts with the team and the wider team. And when I say team, it's also the Movable Inc. team. They've been on the journey with us, and they've handheld us throughout the last 12 months. So it's getting them on board. We have a conference every year, like an e-commerce conference, and use the advantage to, when you're looking for speakers or external speakers, bring your partners in there on the stage with you. Let them live how you live. Let them see also how you work as an organization. The more they know, the more details they'll get, and the better the relationship will be, and the better the output will be. We did a Dragon's Den piece, which I think was something, a little bit of fun, a bit of a gamification. So we had to go through the onboarding, the learning. Of course, every other new company has to do that with a new partner. But we gamified it by saying, okay, we'll try and figure out 2 teams, and they have to come up with a couple of use cases under a time pressure, live, like a mini hackathon done within an hour. I think ours was done in 30 minutes, I think. But then there was a bit of competition, but you also had to learn, you had to pre-learn to get together and understand a little bit more about the product, what does it do. So that was a bit of fun stuff. Ellis won, unfortunately, and he's not very humble.
You had the inside scoop.
But then also, when we did the internal conference, use Movable Inc. tech, the weather widget, the countdown for announcing when the conference is happening. So internal stakeholders get to see the tech stack, the partnership that you're doing there in front of them internally. You've got an internal audience that you can always talk to through the great stuff that you do.
And Mark, you mentioned when we were preparing for this something that really resonated with me, which was that when you are advocating for a new technology, the internal sort of marketing and socialization is, sometimes just as important as the external marketing. And so that really resonated with me. And fun fact, we sort of stole your Dragon's Den idea, and we actually did this for one of our financial services clients, and it was a huge hit, just being able to bring their leadership team into the competition. So
you can learn something from us as well then.
Every day. Great. So we've heard about what you've been able to deliver in such a short time, such impressive results. What's next, and how would you describe your dream state vision for Accor EMEA?
It's such an exciting world that we all live in now, and things are progressing super fast, and it's making sure that you're on top of things. But things that won't surprise you, generative AI, omni-channel consistency, things like that is going to be super important how we move forward. But data is king, so make sure you activate and you've got access to data that is reliable and hygiened as well. So you can tell that story, you can create content. In terms of what do you need, well, it's a good IT support, some stakeholders, some good sponsors. But I would also say strong partners, right? Let's not forget about this. It's super important to have that extended team and a very, very strong partnership.
Ellis, do you want to share any about what's on the roadmap?
Yeah, I just feel personally for me, it's data is such a big thing, and if you have data, then it's endless possibilities, and yeah, you can really activate a lot of things with data, but yeah, it's just the case of really knowing what data you want to activate, and just making sure that is readily available, like Mark said, because when you have all of that kind of planned out, it's so much more easier to activate a lot of things that you want to do. So just start with easy things that you can't get data from, but at the same time, work on all of the kind of deep integrations that you actually want. Yeah.
Great. Well, for folks here today that are moving on to the next phase of their customer-centric journey, what's one big takeaway from your experience, tip that you can share with them?
So for me, it's create to inspire. So as in CRM or in marketing, we're always looking to do creative things. We're always looking to bring the next idea, the next best idea, in an industry-winning kind of way. But if you perhaps start small and just celebrate those small wins, but in your mind, obviously, then create the bigger things that you have in mind to really celebrate these internal wins with everyone, and also celebrate externally as well. Like we're doing today here, where we hope we've created to inspire everyone here to kind of do better in CRM or take some key tips or key initiatives away, so that you can take it back to your business and really push the boundaries and push the envelope. For me, it's also it's just celebrating all these wins of everyone and just making sure that what we invested is we're getting a lot out of it, and just celebrating everything.
So I'll keep it very, very simple, and that is, don't let anyone pop your passion to get close to the customer. So for me, it's if you believe you're going to be doing an amazing engagement piece and you need tech and you need partnerships, then tenacity is needed. You need to continuously fulfill and tell the story, be that ambassador for your customers, and create the opportunity. Even if you get headwind and you might have detractors, they're always going to be the case, but believe in what you want to do and achieve with the customer centricity hat on, and you'll achieve it.
Well, I think it's evident you've done just that it's last year. So Mark and Ellis are around and would love to talk to any other travel or other industry marketers in the room. And thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Mark and Ellis.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.